Support for Radio Friends comes from La Brunerie Financial, where they work to ensure a lifetime of financial security for people from all walks of life, from investment services to retirement plans. If you're looking for a trustworthy company that has the experience and knowledge to put your interests first, contact La Brunerie Financial, a community-based investment counseling firm since 1966. Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Tuesday, August the 18th. I got one of my friends here today who normally would be very, very, very busy right now. But this has been one heck of a year.
It has.
Todd Davison, Maples Rep Theatre.
Hello.
Good to see you, Todd.
Good to be here.
Last time I saw you, you were all clean shaven.
I know.
Is this what the COVID-19 pandemic has done?
Yes, the COVID-19 pandemic has made me lose my razor.
You got a great big old beard
I
there.
do.
But this has been one unusual.
It's been very unusual.
Right. You have had no production at all at Maples Rep.
Correct. We did one kids show with kids earlier in the summer. We had 24 kids, and it was fine. You know, we did all that we thought we could do to be safe, and we had a nice week together. But then when it came ready for the performance, we did the performance, but really it was only parents. You know, nobody else was. It helped us to learn that people were just not ready to come out.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So you have had to cancel the entire summer and fall season.
We canceled all of the summer, and we canceled the first two shows in our fall. We still have two shows in theory on the books.
That would be at Christmas time.
That would be starting Friday after the election, so November 6th would be Greater Tuna, and then right after Thanksgiving, I Love a Piano. And so October 1st is our D-Day on that. That'll be the day we will decide whether we can go forward with those two shows or not. We've just been kind of lopping shows off two at a time,
right,
as we can. You know. So
now you also have to have agreement from the Actors Union.
Correct. So there are two driving forces about whether we can produce in November. The first is the Actors Union, because they need to be assured that there is a safe working environment for people to come and work. And so far, they have not allowed actors to work in theater.
Everything is still dark on Broadway, too,
yes,
right?
Everything's still dark, yes. And so that's one thing. And then the other thing is whether we think that enough of our patrons would feel comfortable coming back. So,
and that's the big question.
So those are the two streams that we will in September, we will revisit, as we get, because October 1st is when we have to decide.
Now, if you do a production in November and December, you would not be able to fill the theater to capacity.
At this time in the state of Missouri, those limitations have actually, in theory, been lifted, but we would be operating as a company on 50% capacity. That's just what we had decided that we would try to operate at. And so we have strategies in place as far as how the seating would work, and we think that we can handle that part of it.
If you can do the shows.
If we can do the shows.
Now, what happens to the theater, Maples Rep, if you're not able to do the fall and the winter shows? What happens to the company?
Well, obviously, it's not only discouraging, but the financial implications are that we depend on, for about 50% of our revenue, ticket sales, and then the other 50% for donations and fundraising. And so our fundraising has also been impacted because people are most interested in giving to the theater when they're in a jolly mood coming to the theater. So we have had many loyal patrons who have continued to support us through this time. And the majority of our expenses in the year are directly production related. So so a lot of those expenses have not happened this year, but our overhead and our ongoing staff expenses have gone. So,
right. You
so
still
we
have to. You still have to pay rent on the theater.
Correct.
You still have to pay electricity. You still have to pay water and heat.
Yep, insurance. So we have to. So we have reduced our expenses considerably by not doing shows, but. And we believe that we're in a position where we can make it through to next summer, but it will be. It is tough. It's just a different. It's a whole different economics. We have been interviewing for another full-time position in the theater, and that's kind of been put on hold. Hopefully, when we get into the spring, we'll know a little bit more, and we can kind of start that process again, so that. In the future, the other thing is just in a broad sense, all I know how to do is to plan for a show or to plan for an event. So I just keep planning. I still am planning for the fall, and then we may need to cancel that. And then as soon as that happens, I will be planning for next summer, just like as if it was going to happen.
Well, hopefully by next summer.
Correct.
We're hoping that by next summer, things will be much closer to normal
for sure
than they are right now. I mean, this is something that I'm sure last year at this time that was the furthest thing.
Yep, we never thought of that. And so we, from a company standpoint, we have our issues, but the people who are truly hurt the worst are the artists, because actors who most of the actors who come to theaters, regional theaters like ours, are really working kind of gig to gig to gig.
Right.
Have not been able to dip into this unemployment, extra unemployment, or anything like that, because they've been really gig oriented, and so
these actors have no income.
That's absolutely they're completely stopped. So a lot have some kind of other side job or whatever, that they try to do to try to fill in, but they can't take a full-time job if they think another acting job is going to come pretty soon. So the uncertainty is the worst for sure.
Exactly. Well, hopefully. Next year, we'll be talking about this as something from the past and say, wow, it's looking good for this year.
This is the time of the year when I would come on and announce the 2021 season. This is the time when I generally would do that. So obviously there are some variables in place, so I have not made that announcement yet. But that's one thing, people say, what are you doing now? I'm actively trying to make a plan for 2021. So that's where I am.
I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. I would not want to be in your shoes. I wish you the best of luck,
Thank you.
Todd. I know this is a very difficult situation right now, especially the fact that you don't know if you're going to be doing a shows in the fall or not. Everybody is in a situation that we have never been placed in before.
We have not, and we just don't know.
No.
So the good thing as far as our patrons go, everybody's been in this situation where they buy a ticket for the fall show, but they know that they're going to have to call the week before and see whether that's still on. Everyone has been very kind and supportive through the whole thing, and so we're just thankful for that.
If people want more information and check on you, they can go to your website.
They can, maplesrep.com.
Maplesrep.com. If you want to make a donation, you can make a donation there.
You certainly can.
All right, Todd, thank you so much for coming by. I wish you've been very, very successful in the past, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks.
Out of time for today. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, and wear those masks, okay? Bye-bye.